welcome. My name is Michelle and I am your Emotional Resilience Coach, and it is fantastic to have you here with me today. This is Valentine's Week. It was Valentine's Day just the other day, and there has been so much buzz about what is love. And I have seen a lot of negative stuff, as I discussed in my previous video on love, and I went out and asked people on Instagram, if you're not following me on Instagram, please go on over and find me there too under the Emotional Resilience Coach. And in one of my stories, I put out the question, what is love? And I got some really great answers, and I thought I would share some of it here with you today and just kind of run it off with some of my thoughts, because there seems to be a lot of negativity, very sadly and very unfortunately, about love. And I know that a lot of people have had an incredibly bad experience, or that there seems to be this idea that love is conditional that comes up a lot. That if we don't kind of fit a certain mold, that we're not going to be loved, we're not going to be accepted. And we seem to have very ethereal ideas as well, very mystical ideas of love is just something that happens to you. And I just like to counter that with some different thoughts. First and foremost, what have people over on Instagram said, what is love? Alright, one of them is, love is accepting and understanding. And I like that. I like that very much. Love is acceptance. When we are able to accept ourselves, we are able to better tap into the love which is already there. When we resist and fight against ourselves, we are not able to really fully experience love properly, because love is just this open, free, expansive feeling, all-encompassing, and it's not restricted. There are no constraints. There aren't any conditions attached to it if you are. Love is very open, warm, and welcoming. Somebody else said, love is about supporting one another, not completing each other. And that's really awesome as well. And I love romantic movies. I have two daughters and they love romantic movies, and they get so absorbed and wrapped up in the romance of the stories, and we're all very familiar of that one line, you complete me. And all girls go weak at the knees and they ooh and ah and think, oh, this is amazing. And the thing is that as sweet as that sounds, it's a very, very dangerous place to be, because it puts so much pressure on us to be what the other person needs so that they can feel completed, all right? Or it puts pressure on other people to be what we need to feel completed. And that obviously brings up a whole lot of resentment and ugly. And we need to feel that we are already enough, that they are already enough. And we're just adding to each other, all right? We're not finishing each other, we're not completing, we're just adding on. All right, just kind of imagine yourself as this house, and this other person comes along and maybe they help you build an extension, but your house in and of itself is already complete, is already beautiful, is already enough. But this person, they're the cherry on the top, they're the sprinkles, they just add that extra bit of joy, that extra bit of gladness, that extra bit of warmth, all right? There's no doubt in my mind, I am not for 1 minute arguing that we don't need each other. We are born and built and wired for connection, and we do need each other. The best way to feel and know and understand our love is by expressing that love through other people. But it should not be contingent upon you being a certain way or you filling a certain void within me. All right. Loving yourself starts with liking yourself, which starts with respecting yourself. And that is really fantastic as well. Again, it goes down to just being authentically you, making peace with yourself, making peace with the things that perhaps you don't like about yourself, and just really feeling that all's well, all's okay, all is enough. Everything happens line upon line, precept upon precept, but by bit, you're going to grow and you're going to evolve and you're going to get to who you need to be and the person, the higher self that we all try and achieve to get to. It's going to happen, but where you are right now is good. It's a good place. It's enough. And to just really tap into that, respect yourself. I think it was a really nice point that they made, is that respecting yourself really helps build those blocks in learning to like yourself, and then of course learning to love yourself. Love embraces all. That was another one. And I think again that goes back to that idea of acceptance, all right? And not resisting, not judging, not criticizing, not one-upping or one-downing, saying I'm somehow better or somehow I'm not good enough. It's this equalizer of knowing and understanding that we are all of equal worth and value, and that our value is absolute, all right? I love this. My dear friend Jay, she said, love is a feeling of overwhelming joy and bliss. Something about, she goes on, and you can go and have a look at her post. She is Jay Barra at London, and she says, a buzzing ecstasy, a presence, often it is ignited by someone or something external. And again, that goes back to what I was saying earlier about love. You know, it's amazing and it's fantastic, but what is love if it's just contained within us? It needs to spill out, it needs to spill over, and often it will be ignited. It will be, I want to say triggered, but not in a negative connotation. It will be the sense, this idea of maybe a child bakes you a cookie, or maybe your husband brings you a hot chocolate every morning, or maybe they leave little notes for you, or they just stop and give you a hug out of nowhere and say, I love you, or little things like that, right? And of course there are those grand gestures too. But I think what is really awesome, I think what Jay is getting at here, is that it's best expressed when it needs no recognition, when it is something we just are. And I love that thought of just our beingness, just who we are, our just presence, to know and understand that our source, where we come from, and whatever they may look like for you, is a place of love. We're created from a place of love. Our essence, our spirit, our energy comes from a place of love. And I am a firm believer that the closer we get to who we are authentically, and we are true to ourselves, that we actually tap into that love. We get to feel that love. And then of course we get to express that love by showing that love to all those around us as well. And that's by doing things like just being kind, being helpful, dropping the judgment, dropping the criticism, understanding that we're all on the same journey and that it's messy and that it doesn't have to look the same for everybody. We all have our own set of trials and obstacles that we need to go through so that we can be the best version of ourselves. And our journey is tailor-made for us. And because of that, we really have no right to stand and look at anybody else's journey and have any commentary about how it is not done and lived. Because we don't know and we don't understand. We can only speak from our perspective, which is not going to see, know, or understand the full picture. The capacity of love is eternal, and that goes back to this idea that I was talking about love being, it's there, it's the source of all things. I belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I believe that love comes from my Heavenly Father, that He absolutely created me from a place of love, that He loves me, that my value is absolute, and that this idea of, for all us human beings, when we get to the core of who we are, when we drop all the nonsense, when we drop all the baggage and we drop all the ugly and self-judgments and recriminations and all of that, when we drop all of that, we get to this place of love, because that is what is at the core for all of us. And then obviously someone sent me, the 1 Corinthians that is very familiar to most people. Love is patient, love is kind. I think the thing is that love throughout history, love has been written about. Poems, songs, movies, so many rom-coms, stories. love is the focus. You know, the world actually knows that love is important because love is spoken about everywhere in all forms. And I think what we need to understand, and something that I thought I'll just speak about really quickly here, is if we look at these words, love is giving, love is receiving, love is forgiving, love is, there were a few other words I wrote down here. It's having concern, it's kindness, it's sharing, it's respecting, it's, you know, fill in the blank for you. But I think what is really, really interesting here, what stands out, is that all these words, they're verbs, all right? Love is an action. Absolutely, it's a state of being. We need to know and understand love within ourselves so that we can give love and offer love outside. And I think when we understand that we actually are love, that there is love within us already, and we can tap into that, it is so much easier for us to just love those people around us. And I saw this that the other day I was reading something and this really resonated with me. And again, this goes down to the Judaic-Christian principle of love. And it said, you know, the selfish person isn't the one who loves himself. And I think for so many of us who have a faith background of any sort, we get stuck with the idea of loving our neighbors. And this comment was, it isn't love thy neighbor instead of thyself. It is love thy neighbor as thyself. And obviously, as I've been saying in this video, we can't do it if we don't have that love within us already, if we're not tapped into it, if we're not understanding it. And so it's really important for us to do that. It's really important for us to work on ourselves, work on dropping the hurts, the pains, the dramas in our lives, and just sinking into that state of being love and understanding that the source we come from is love. And when we feel that and we understand it and we fill ourselves with it, both intellectually and spiritually, emotionally, in the heart, when we're able to do all of that, that is when we're able to step out of ourselves and give love. And the last thought I really love is love is time. And again, it comes down to this idea of action, right? Love is giving of your time. Love is being, spending. It's a thought. It starts as a thought. You know, often people say, oh, I can't help but, you know, love whoever it is that you love. Love is a thought. It's how we think about people. How we think about people is going to affect how we love and how we show up. So if there's anybody in your life that perhaps you are struggling with, or you don't quite know how to be at ease and at peace with, look at your thoughts. Ask yourself, what is it that I actually think about this person? What are the thoughts around this person? And can I get my thoughts back to a place of love? So there we go. That is our Valentine's week just wrapped up. And I always love to hear from you. So if you would like to leave a comment, please do. If you want to come over to my Instagram and direct message me privately there, please do. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you want to be coached on. Let me know what you want to hear about. I got a really lovely message from somebody the other day who said that it feels like therapy for them, these videos. And so if there's anything that resonates with you, please do like, share, subscribe, hit the notifications button. Let your friends and family know. Send the videos on to them. And let's together stand in our power and take that back and no longer be victims in our own lives. That is my joy, that is my hope, that is my passion. Thank you for being with me today. Have a most blessed day.